Hello everyone, my name is Mallory and today I will be walking you through the Capstone 2 Candidate Guide. Capstone 2 has three primary objectives. That is for you to continue the development of your enabling competencies, particularly your communication and self-management, to prepare you for all 3 days of the CFE, and lastly, to help you to continue the development of your ability to integrate technical competency areas. Capstone 2 has no exam associated with it. Essentially, this module is designed to ensure you are eligible to proceed to writing the CFE. To make sure you pass Capstone 2, you must attend the module workshop and complete the associated activities. For Capstone 2, you must make a reasonable attempt on at least 75% or 17 of the Capstone 2 weekly activities. The weekly activities will include 12 marked practice cases, 2 marked module workshop cases, 4 unmarked practice cases, 2 surveys, an introduction quiz and an academic honesty quiz, and the module workshop participation. Realistically, it is not challenging to pass Capstone 2, as it is in your best interest to participate and use the marking and resources provided to you to help you study with the CFE. There will be several resources provided to you throughout the Capstone that you can use to really maximize your study experience. To kick off Capstone 2, a workshop will be conducted to provide you with the information and the opportunity to practice writing all 3 days of the CFE. There will be weekly webinars that are hosted by each region, and while they are not required, they will cover a number of topics including technical topics encountered in your weekly practice cases. There will be a facilitator monitored discussion board that is available for questions and announcements and can even be used to find a study partner. There will be additional practice cases beyond those provided in the module, and you will also be provided with technical notes through the learning ebooks, an Excel tracking sheet that will show your competency rating and your progression over Capstone 2, as well as a sample CFE study calendar. You will be provided a Capstone 2 calendar of when your cases are due, video walkthroughs of practice cases, and even spotlight videos on various topics related to the CFE. For cases assessed by the National Marking Center, markers will complete a feedback guide in Excel, which will rank performance by AO, provide a place for markers to comment on why candidates received a certain assessment, and for how candidates can move from one assessment to the next. They will also be providing feedback on overall communication and the candidate's response as a whole. If you have any questions regarding your individual assessments, you can ask by submitting a ticket to the National Marking Center hotline. Case responses must be written in Word and Excel and uploaded to the D2L Dropbox. Submissions may only be a maximum of 1 Word and 1 Excel file. Submissions containing an extra file, for example, like 2 Word files, will not be marked. The Excel portion of case responses must be written using only 1 worksheet. An important difference to note is that the Capstone 2 Dropbox will accept multiple submissions up until the submission deadline. However, only the last submission will be retained and marked. The naming convention also has an important difference from the instructions provided in the Common Candidate Guide. Capstone 2 candidates must use their candidate ID number in the place of your candidate name. For example, your document title should include your candidate ID with the week and day your case is pertaining to. It is also important for candidates to understand that not all cases will be submitted on Fridays like prior modules. Multiple resources will be provided to you based on which day of the practice case you are writing. While the cases will cover some of the competency map, you will ultimately be responsible for technical studying beyond what is provided in the Capstone 2 practice cases. For day 1, the solution will include a situational analysis framework and will be representative of what is beyond required for a clear pass and is usually much longer than can be achieved during an exam setting. Similarly, for days 2 and 3, the solution will demonstrate case writing best practices and is considered to be a competency with distinction report. For all of the days, a feedback guide to assess each AO is provided, as well as a case walkthrough and debriefing notes. A strong sample response may be provided to demonstrate the breadth and depth that can be realistically achieved in an exam setting. A candidate performance and ranking will also be provided, though they will look slightly different depending on the day. Additionally, flashcards summarizing key technical content covered in the practice cases will be provided, as well as role-specific flashcards. Quartile performance scores will be provided for days 2 and 3 practice cases to help candidates determine where they mark in relation to overall candidate performance. Each feedback guide will include a total score based on the number of AOs and candidate performance, with the scores shown here. Once candidates receive feedback, they are encouraged to compare their score to the completed quartile performance document. This will help you gauge where you rank in terms of overall AOs and specific individual ones. For cases that are not assessed by the National Marking Center, the quartile performance is based on historic candidate results. The mock CFE consists of day 2 and 3 exam papers from a historic CFE and will be written during week 4. The day 2 mock CFE paper should be written in 5 hours and the day 3 to be written in 4 hours. For the mock CFE day 3 exam, you must write each case in a separate Word and Excel file and submit to the corresponding Dropbox. This is different than the CFE, where the response for all 3 day 3 cases will be written in one Word and one Excel file. CPA strongly recommends that candidates wait until week 3 of the Capstone 2 to write the mock CFE. This will ensure candidates have received feedback from the National Marking Center on their week 1 and 2 practice cases and can provide them the opportunity to apply some of the skills they have learned on this mock CFE. Some additional study tips include debriefing each of your cases, ideally after writing your response. The time spent on debriefing should be at least as long as the case took you to write. For example, a 2-hour case should be spent debriefing between 2 to 3 hours. Peer review is recommended to learn from one another based off of case triggers or structuring your overall response. It's recommended that you review your feedback from the National Marking Center and to review the Capstone 2 calendar on a weekly basis to ensure deadlines are met and you do not miss any opportunity to have your cases marked. Here you see an example of the Capstone 2 calendar that outlines module workshops, when cases are due, and when each of the cases are to be submitted. As you can see, the cases can be due at any point in the week, so this calendar should be monitored on a regular basis. And with that, you're ready to start Capstone 2. Good luck on this next stage of your CPA journey.